So one of the exciting things about surrendering to God every day and asking to do His will is the directions He will take you. And so since yesterday, this blue, it's so weird how it just, you think it's nothing, and then something else comes along and ties it to something else. It's hard to explain. So, this is regarding sea glass, okay? So this obviously is. Okay? See, I'm looking through it. You can sort of look at that like you could see me right through it, okay? As when Moses in Exodus, what was it, 24, goes up to Mount Sinai to have dinner with God. It's like, there's a couple times he does it. And the way he sees God like his feet, sees God's feet. But he sees it through sapphire like pavement. Okay? The bottom doesn't work, but you get what I'm saying. Okay. So why is this important? It's a possibility. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because many people believe the millennial kingdom already happened. And they make some good arguments for why it's already happened. Which means if it already happened, we're in the small season of the beast. We have been. Regardless of the beast is before the millennial kingdom. During the millennial kingdom, the beast is locked up for the 1,000-year reign where Christ is reigning on earth, okay? The way that's described in Revelation 6, and you have to remember when God says He stretches the sky in the beginning, Genesis, He says, I stretch the sky over the earth like a tent. He stretches it over the earth, okay? So that's how Moses, when he can see, he's seeing God through like a sapphire, like glass. So in Revelation 6, the sky recedes like a scroll, because, he stretched it in the beginning. So it would, because because the way it's described is there's us, the sky, then if there's a barrier, that if there's some sort of glass there that like what Moses was seeing God's feet through, then above that would be water and then God, okay? So this would very much be like the sky breaks open. That would be before the millennial kingdom. I've gone back and forth with, is there really a barrier there or not? But let's just go with for a moment there is. Then that if there was a barrier and it was like Moses was seeing God through that sapphire glass, then when God comes to reign for His 1,000 years, that glass breaks open. Okay? Think of a snow globe. Except with sapphire instead of clear. I want to make an argument for why that could be true. And it's because of, Scotland's cobalt sea glass. Yes, cobalt. Scotland has a lot of cobalt. Do people remember when Donald Trump had said in his first term, everybody said, oh, he's just making a typo, but he did it twice. Covfefe, COVFEF, which basically it was clear that it was a chemical structure, cobalt, vanadium, and 2 irons. That's what I think he meant. So cobalt is, many people have theorized what his point was, but then he came back, I don't know, maybe it was a couple years later, and he said, again, Covfefe, spelling it the same way, making it clear it wasn't a typo, but anyway, so I somehow yesterday I was looking up something with Scotland. It's like I'm always looking up at something with Scotland. And I found out, that's how I found out that Scotland is heavy with cobalt. But what I came across was sea glass, cobalt, sapphire, sea glass. And it comes in many different forms of blue, okay? And the way and it's not just in Scotland this has happened, but so where the sea glass comes from, and that's why I'm relating it to Revelations, is Scottish cobalt sea glass refers to a sea glass found on Scottish coasts that is colored by cobalt, producing a distinctive deep blue hue. Historically, cobalt has been an important coloring agent for glass and ceramics, and Scotland has a heritage of glass manufacturing dating back to the 17th century, including flint and colored glasses. Cobalt was used to create rich blue glass known as smalt, which was a popular pigment for glassware and even laundry starch. Okay, so that's sort of like what I just showed you. But it can come in different pigment. So where this comes from, this isn't made. That's just telling the history of the cobalt. But the sea glass itself, this happens, they say, because glass being thrown into the sea. But this is an awful lot of it. This isn't the only coast either. It originates from ordinary glass objects such as bottle jars, tableware, and sometimes shipwreck debris that have ended up in the ocean over many years, often between 20 to hundreds of years. These glass fragments are naturally tumbled and smoothed by the action of the waves, sand, and salt water. This process rounds their edges and chemically alters their surfaces, producing this distinctive frosted appearance of sea glass. So then if we go back to, and I wish I could find a better picture, but if we go back to Moses, okay, and Moses was seeing God through, again, like what I showed at the beginning, through the glass, through the sapphire-like glass. This is on the side of God because he's seeing his feet. So Moses would be under this, looking up, okay? So then in Revelation 6, when God returns for the millennial kingdom, being that Moses saw him through the sapphire, he actually said it was like a sapphire pavement. But obviously the pavement was see-through, okay? He could see, like I just showed. So, like there, okay? So if there is that there, because, as it says in when it was created, there's us, the earth, the sky, water, and then God. So in between that would be a barrier. Well, I'm not saying there is, but because I could see it being, well, I guess if he saw him that way, then it was something was there, okay? But let's go with what Moses says, because he says it in more than one place. They saw the God of Israel under his feet was something like a pavement made of sapphire as clear as the sky itself. Another picture, wish I could find a better one, but that's why I used the bowl. So if the millennial kingdom already happened, then the sky would have broken open. And that would be all the glass that's at the bottom of these sea coasts. Because the biggest places where they find this, and if you want to believe what this world says, that it's just people throwing that many bottles in the ocean, then you can. But so Glass Beach in Fort Bragg, California is a big one. In UK is a big coast for sea glass. Ireland, and then Davenport Beach, California as well. So these could all be places. Now, you're just made to believe everybody's just throwing bottles. And the bottles don't stay bottles. They break. And then, as I said, they naturally become like these stones. Well, that could be an indication that the sky broke open and God did return, which means he did have his millennial kingdom already, which means next on the list is judgment.